Hi, everyone. It's Arthur here at Arthur Ease Your Mind on YouTube. I'm an intuitive consultant and psychic advisor. And thank you to the subscribers, old, new, and those that are going to subscribe today. I really appreciate it. Actually, there's a lot of things been going on. But before I go on, I was on the phone this morning with my internet provider. A couple of times on some of the shows I've been doing, they've been glitching or I've been freezing up and buffering. And I'm using Ethernet connection. So they got to come out and see if it's the wires coming into the apartment building. So if I freeze up tonight, everybody I asked Sherry to get out some hand puppets and start entertaining if I'm not here. And Sherry's in the background helping me with all of the questions. And as far as questions, the reason why we ask for caps, it's because we're old and I don't like to wear my glasses because of the reflections from the lights. And it just makes things easier. And if you're asking multiple questions, please, you mean it, we'll answer at least one of them, but give everyone a chance, okay? I hope that makes sense. Oh, and if you do abbreviations that I don't know what they are, you do, spell it out. Because like I said, I'm the village idiot. It's the guys that make me look smart. So everything's going great here. It's in Los Angeles. It's about 83 degrees. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. All you mothers out there, male and female. And I've been called a mother many times, so we'll not go there. And it's about 83, and it's nice. So this is one of the reasons why I think I moved to Los Angeles and have been here permanently since 89. But then again, I tell my people, well, if you know my family, Tokyo is still too close. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So anyway, I'm glad you're here. And I hope you have a great time with me tonight. And we got questions, some really great questions. And I will say, though, that the new Pope, I have a really good feeling about Pope Leo the 14th. It's funny, when I've cleaned houses for people, I often use the prayer by Pope Leo the 13th to banish evil, a prayer to St. Michael, which he actually read when he first took the podium for the first time as the Pope. So, I have a really good feeling for him. I do not feel he's going to let Trump walk all over him, even though he's an American, because before Trump would say, well, they're foreign, they don't know. Well, he's American, and the Americans say, yeah, I do know. Okay? But we'll see. All right? So let's start getting into some questions. And again, thank you for being here. Before I start, okay, delay. Mel is home. Mel is back from the hospital. I believe Mel is going to be doing a show tomorrow with Linda G. And we've got a show scheduled with Sherry, myself, and Mel, hopefully, tomorrow night, Drain the Swamp, which I feel should be called Restocking the Swamp. But that's another story. But in the meantime, I'm just going to say it and put it up there. If you want to send Mel a little love and support, here's his Venmo. He's been out for weeks. So every little bit helps. And it was funny. After he had the surgery, he drug dialed me. And he was higher than a kite. I said, I want what you have, what you're on. I don't want to go through the surgery, but I just want what you're on. And we were having a great conversation. Then the nurse came in, and that was it. But we've been chatting back and forth. So I'm not sure about Tuesday, if we're doing a show or not. But anyway, there you go. So let's get into some questions, okay? And again, thank you for being here. Hi, Lucy. Is Jack Smith still investigating F45? I feel he is, but unofficially. Unofficially. And then when the time is right, all the unofficial stuff he's gathered, he'll have in a file. Okay? So yes. And we seem to have a little glitch. Liz A. Hi, Arthur. Thank you. What will happen when with SCOTUS after Donnie dumpster fire is gone? Can you say party with a capital P? Actually, what I've always said, I said this even before he was elected, and we thought another party was coming into power. That party, the Democrats, are still coming in, and I do read that they're going. I say within 5 years, we will have 13 Supreme Court justices. The reason why we have 9 is because when they first voted for 9, we had 9 courts. Now there are 13. So it's only fair that each one has, and with population growing, so I believe there will be 13. That's what I get in the next 5 years. Okay. Mystical Magic. Hi, Arthur. Who is behind the J6 bombs? Any of this? It's Marjorie Taylor Greene. But we don't. That's for entertainment purposes only. I believe they have it, but I don't think Blondie Bondi is going to do anything with it. I really know who it is, but it may be hitting too close to home for some of them, so they don't want to put it out there. Eventually, it will be known. It's not like the Great American Mystery that never gets that's unsolved. Okay, they will be found. Hi, Sherry. Hi, will T get his parade in June? That's a hard one. I think we should all collectively just collect get little Hot Wheels, little train sets, and just send them to him so he can have his parade. Just sit there and play in his head. Again, I said this I think last week. Every time I look at this and other things too, it's like, is it an odd or even day? Like when we're getting gas during the 70s during embargo, pointing if your license plate was an odd or even day. I get different giving answers. I feel if it does happen, it's going to be scaled down. And I feel that there will be protests. I mean, peaceful protests. People will be going not to watch the parade, but to watch it in disgust. And he wants, $100 million. He's already spent $30 million on his little golf adventures in the first 100 days. Well, I'm sure Pete Hegseth was singing 100 bottles of beer on the wall for the first 100 days. But I don't. If he does have the parade the way he's not going to have it the way he wants it. Okay, I'll say that right now. If it were to have some type of parade, it's still going to rub people the wrong way. I don't feel the military is so brouhaha like he thinks they are. And there's a veterans demonstration coming up, which I feel is going to change a lot of people's hearts and minds. Okay, so we'll see. I hope that answered your question. I wasn't skirting it. I was just telling you what I got. What is your feeling for this coming week? Got to get my car washed. Hopefully they'll come and fix my internet. Oh, you mean I feel Newark is going to have some more problems. Oops. I would not be flying into Newark right now if I were anybody. Nice city, but not the airport. I do feel there. Okay, I don't know if it's going to be this week, but I was telling my members on Friday I had 2 weird vision dreams, whatever you want to call them. It's when you know this is not a dream, but it is, but it's not. So I was sitting on my couch watching TV. Yeah, this was in my dream. And on TV came breaking news that a bridge was collapsing. And I remember looking down at the remote thinking, I don't remember watching Mothman Prophecy. And it was on every news channel that the bridge was collapsing. And there were 3 fatalities or more. I don't know where, I don't know when, I don't know how. I'm just putting it out there that it might be because, you know, all the construction that was supposed to happen with Biden, you know, Trump's gotten rid of it. And structures and bridges and stuff like that. I don't know, but I just want to let you know that. But on a brighter note, another night I didn't eat peanut butter or crazy things before I went to bed, so it wasn't a nightmare. What happened was there's a dock and this huge, huge yacht was on it. Of course, our fearful leader was on top, and all the cabinet members and everybody connected, all the MAGA top people, everyone, all the people from the Heritage Foundation, everyone was on it. And they were waiting for like Judge Jeannie. So she came running and got on. And they were waiting for 2 more people. And I don't know who the 2 other people were, but I saw these figures get on. And then this huge yacht took off. Bigger than the one in White Lotus. So anyway, they're all partying and having a great time. And at first I thought it was like a circle cruise around New York, but it wasn't. They were just, laughing and pointing and really making fun of the wee folk. Then out of nowhere, it went over the waterfall. The whole thing went crashing over a waterfall. So symbolically, I feel there's a couple more people that have to get on board on the Trump train, and then we have disaster for him. Okay, so I still feel I've said this before. I'll say it again. I think is not me. I think is the guides tell me. So I say I think. What I get is that I've felt this for a while now. The house goes blue even before the midterms. Wouldn't that be nice? So what about this week? So about Newark. I feel there may be some more talk about Russia and Ukraine, and nobody's trusting Russia. And we're going to hear something out of China where Trump will say one thing and China's going to really embarrass him. That's right, Thursday, Friday. So I don't think you need to be a psychic to know those things because that's a daily occurrence. But anyway, that's what I'm getting. I hope that helps. All right. Didn't mean to waffle on there, but I do. Hi, Jill. Will the postponed ceasefire Europe has called for with Putin take hold on the 12th? Will it last more than a few days? Will it lead to peace talks? Really like these live Sunday shows. Thank you. So do I. Thank you so much and everyone, thank you for being here. I do feel there's going to be some type of ceasefire. It may be on the 12th. How long it's going to last? It's more like 1. Okay, we're done. That's Putin. Then, but it's going to lead to other talks. And at this point, no one's talking to Trump. He's the odd man out, and being odd man is an understatement. But he's the odd man out. Let's see. Let's pull the creepy kid cards and see what they come up with. All for the money. So we'll see what happens with that one. Disaster wreckage. So the way I read this is Putin's not going to keep his word. Zelensky will, Europe will, but not Putin. He's a bully. I hope that answers your questions. And I don't usually use cards, so I just like pulling these PP Kid cards sometimes. Thank you, Jill. Hi, Matthew. Hi, Arthur. Good job keeping people's spirits up. Well, if I can't do it. Jim Beam can. Tom Collins can. Captain Morgan can. Never mind. Will the Dems be able to win the Senate in 2026? Yes. 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 I've always felt that. And I've never seen when Trump departs, J.D. Vance becoming president. I don't see it. I think the word co-conspirator keeps on coming up. So it's going to be blue. Okay? All around. We'll have a Blue Lagoon party. Hi, Susan. Will the Coast Guard actually remove hundreds of navigation buoys in the Northeast, or will it be stopped? It'll be stopped. They may collectively take some, but this is the thing. I don't even think people realize what they're doing. Taking away those buoys. Why are they there? It's for protection. I mean, these people don't know. I mean, off topic, when the spokesperson, Carolyn Levitt, whatever her name is, when she said, we got rid of the Librarian of Congress because she was putting inappropriate children's books on the shelves. Don't you know who the Library of Congress is? And who the Librarian of Congress is? I mean, these are the... Anyway. Yeah. Hi, Suzette. Is Idiot's crypto scheme going to allow the law to go after him? You saw him in shackles. Only Donnie I could find a way to break the law when the Supreme Court gave him a carte blanche. Thank you, Arthur. Number one, I didn't really feel shackles. I always get him handcuffed to a gurney. And I've been saying that since 2 years ago. Actually, longer than that, when I said I don't worry about him because you have to be alive to be a president. But entertainment purposes only. But also, I am going to say in the next 3 to 4 weeks, the Supreme Court, there's something going to come to the Supreme Court where they may start chipping away at what they did. And they're seeing how they're being ignored by the executive branch. I feel that they'll start flexing some muscles. And so Donnie is not going to get away with what he thinks he is. He will not have carte blanche. Maybe in his head, but not in reality. And the crypto thing, I actually feel, I said this before, I hope I'm wrong, but maybe not. I always felt that Barron is going to get in some trouble regarding crypto stuff. And like I said, all this time I thought crypto was the name of Superboy's dog. What is happening at Newark Airport? Insanity. I mean, for them to be losing their radar systems, isn't this that radar system that the Doge kids from high school were supposed to fix and upgrade? Yeah. It's like Zsa Zsa Gabor getting an upgrade. And she's dead. So, sorry, that was pretty bad. But anyway, Newark, they're going to come in. I said, like, this week I feel something happened in Newark. It'll come down again. I feel there's generator issues. I feel there's wiring issues. I feel there's age issues with stuff that was supposed to be replaced and it wasn't. And monies were taken and put somewhere else. And it's all going to be found out. Okay? So that's what I get. Witchy Gardens. I live in a Massachusetts, and ICE is raiding my state. How long will they stay in Massachusetts? I'm terrified at how many people are being treated. Thank you. Well, they're doing this all over. They're becoming emboldened, especially when they arrested the mayor of Newark and slapped and pushed down a congresswoman. But I see your governor fighting it. There's going to be some changes coming up. I say, let's see what happens in 3 weeks. Okay. Because a lot of everything I'm seeing now kind of plays into my predictions back in February, where I said the Ides of March would be instrumental, where everything would start. That's when the mirror starts cracking. And that's what happened we found everything out. On the Ides of March was when they rallied up the Venezuelan individuals, put them on a plane, and then put out the proclamation. And then all the stuff with Hedgehog and his family group chat. And then I said April, every day would be another WTF day. And when we're getting to May and June is when I really feel things are going to start going. People are saying, I had enough. I think I said this on another show, that where I look at America right now is we're all suffering from battered wife syndrome. And there's a lot of the MAGA people. Oh, he didn't mean what he said. He didn't mean that. Oh, you're taking it the wrong way. Yeah, right. Battered wife syndrome. And eventually it's going to get to a point where it's like, okay, we're done. I'm out of here. Or he's out of here. Okay? But it will be done legally. So I hope that helps. Stargazer. Will Trump or his family be allowed to keep the Flying Palace jet being gifted by Qatar? I'm not sure. He might not be around to fly on it, so I'm not sure. I want to say no on it, but he tries to bend the rules all the way. But because I know that he was looking at used luxury flying palaces to replace Air Force One. And that's what he's going to do. Have his own little Amtrak train set like Putin and Kim Jong-un. Crazy, isn't it? I don't see it happening. They get to keep it. Okay. Hi, Dallin. Will Trump and his cabinet members be gone before another pandemic happens? For example, the bird flu. I hope so. I mean, I do feel there's something on its way, but I don't feel it's COVID. I don't feel it's of that magnitude. I feel it's something that's treatable. But since we have, how can I put this? A coke-addicted kid from college that is now grown up and had a worm in his ear or his head is in charge. And we don't get to, he's not telling anybody what's going on. And he just said nationally that all vaccines have aborted fetus material. Yeah. this is what we're dealing with. So, this really reminds me of, I think it's a movie called King of Hearts with Alan Bates, where the insane asylum takes over the city. So it's a good film. Watch it. But anyway, I don't feel craziness like bird flu, but measles is still on the rise, and they're not really reporting much about it. So that's the one I keep on feeling we need to watch. Okay. Joshua, what do you see for Josh Hawley, Republican in Congress? Handcuffs. I just come out. That's not my opinion. That's what the guides are saying. The fist bump to the crowd that he ran from. I always love that image of him running away from the Jan 6 people. I always said, this reminds me of he had, all he needed was pigtails and duty shoes or saddle shoes, and he'd look like a little girl skipping down there. But I see handcuffs. Doesn't just show me. So we'll take it from there. And thanks for not asking when. Hi, Al Thomas. Will a woman be the next governor of New Jersey? I gotta know. It feels like the strong candidate. First thing I got was no, but I feel there'll be a very strong contender. I don't know New Jersey politics. Except all the memes with, with Mr. Chris in his beach chair. But I'm just going to say, at this moment, I'm not feeling it. It's all fluid. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to rule out 100% because I really they just said there's a very strong contender coming up. So we'll take it from there. But I do feel a Democrat wins regardless. Hi, Helen. Will Susan Collins' seat flip in 2026 to Dems? Well, she's been flipping out all these years. It's going to happen, yes. Yes, I do feel that seat will be flipped. Faster than a house on HGTV. Hi, Sassy. Do you see the so-called trade deal with China going through? Thank you. There will be a trade deal going through. It's not going to be what Trump says it is. So there was something going through. It's just like when they did the whole thing with Canada and said, look how brilliant he is. He got the tariff at 10%. It started at 10%. When negotiations, because Trump mythically put it up so high and then brought it down to 10% again, like he's such a negotiator. It's like, really? So same thing with China. I wonder if he has like a clause in there though that says all of his merchandise he doesn't have to have tariffs on, including the Bibles. The ones he sells with the King James version of the Constitution. Why is Saudi Arabia giving Trump a plane? I thought it was Qatar. I don't know who's giving him a plane. I don't care. Because they can. They're showing favoritism. When you have a mob boss, you give him presents. So I'm not really getting it. It's because they can. That's what the guy just said. And it's stroking his ego. What? So he has his own little army now? With his own little Air Force? And if those things are made in other countries, what happened to, make America great again? Have anything built in America? Will the prisoners in El Salvador be released or forgotten? They'll be released. They're not forgotten. Believe me, they will not be forgotten. I'm sure if Tony Orlando was around, he'd be singing like something like, tie a yellow ribbon around an old tree to bring the El Salvador people home. Seriously, they're not forgotten. They may be forgotten by legacy news. They may be forgotten by corporate news, but they're not forgotten by progressive news or the courts. What did Trump give up for the Saudi plane? Well, we can't say his soul because that's been gone for years. Promises. I keep on hearing the theme song, the Burt Bacharach, promises, promises. But at the same time, he breaks every promise. So we will see. Nora, I love you. Hello, Arthur. Will MTG be a nothing burger soon? Not soon enough. She says she's going to try and run for the Senate. Big mistake. She's going to, the thing is, though, she's also part of the Jan 6 investigations. Her name's on a list. So I know Jack Smith, checked it twice. She's naughty and not very nice. Yeah. Well, again, soon is relative. By the time I die, yeah. Hi, Spirit Animal 1212. Hello, my lovely Arthur. Question: why did MTG pull out of running for Senate? Did 45 pull her support for her? If so, why? Well, they've been having arguments and civil wars, and she's been saying stuff you don't like. Besides that, I think she knows she would lose. She's becoming irrelevant. I think the people in Georgia are just tired and sick. And it's the low-educated voter that, oh, Margie Taylor Greene, I heard her name. Oh, I see her here. I'll vote for her. That's how it's happening. Besides that, there's been a lot of shady deals. That's she was worth $750,000 when she went in. Now she's worth $22 million. I mean, hell, Stephen Sondheim was worth $20 million when he died at 91, and he had a whole lifetime of career of music. Please. Just saying. So we'll see. Hi, Laura from Texas. Will Zelensky be safe if he and Putin meet in Turkey for peace talks, as long as he doesn't drink the tea? Yeah, he'll be safe. I also feel the realm is protecting him too. So, God bless him. But I feel there will be interpreters, and I feel it's not going to be a case where, remember, Trump took all the notes away from the interpreters and destroyed them? Yeah, that's not going to happen this time around. But I feel Putin's just doing it for the optics. He don't care. What was that? Thank you. Thank you, Susan Todd. Thank you very much. Mary, do you think that Putin has dirt on Trump and others that will come out at some point? Is the new Pope American and Catholic? We know, I mean, the whole dossier that Michael Steele had, I still say it was true. It's still true. And he got stuff on him. And when he ends up going to the great beyond, which I feel is not too far away. I mean, hell, I predicted last April he'd be gone. As I went this one. I don't think his next one, though. This is where I say, you ask me things about timelines, they're fluid. I still say eventually he's gone, and I feel he's being assassinated by his own people for entertainment purposes only. Whereas Mel would say he falls out of the first floor of a window in the first floor. But yeah, then a lot of stuff comes out. Yep. Putin does not like Trump. I mean, let's face it. When Melania did all those girl-on-girl stuff for Maxim, when he won the second time, they released it again. Please. Hi, Teresa Spriggs. Thank you so much. And then what got me this week was when Trump was making fun and belittling and mocking Pete Buttigieg for, well, he's married to a man. You're married to a prostitute. Just saying. Is the Saudi plane bugged? Remember the scarab beetles from all the Egyptian movies? Never mind. I don't know. Probably. But it'll be debugged if it is. I hear he may run. Will Beto O'Rourke beat John Cronin in the Texas 2026 Senate race? Good question. As long as there's no cheating, like last time. I'm hearing there's a chance. I'm not getting a strong yes. Again, all this stuff is free will. I say he's going to have a good chance. Because Texas is not going to be as red as they think it is. I'd love to be the one to tell Abbott, Texas is no longer red. It's more like a lavender. Isn't that a pretty color? Hi, Kathy. My question is, do you see shortages with the new China tariff deals? Blessings. I feel there may be some delays. I know some are saying to stock up. I have to drop weight, so I've got plenty to feed myself on. But if you feel like doing it, do it. It's not going to hurt. But I don't feel you need to do a mad rush and do hoarding. Okay? A friend of mine, she called and said, yeah, I hoarded about a whole case of Spam. Now I have to buy another whole case of Spam because it's gone. So if you're going to buy food to put it away. Okay? But there may be some shortages on some things. But if there are, it's not going to be long-lasting, like COVID and stuff. Okay? Says the guy who ordered 96 rolls of toilet paper. At 3 o'clock in the morning, because I was half asleep. D. When will this S show be over? We will be in a better place by next summer, thanks. We will be in a better place by next summer, yes. Yes. Because I do not see myself strapped in a straitjacket in a rubber room. Because if this was still going on, that's where I'd be. And my guides are not showing me that. But it takes time. And as I've always said, this always reminds me of, darling, you got a kidney stone. It's going to pass. It's going to hurt. It's going to pass. What this is. We get through it. But the good thing is we're all in it together. We're all helping each other, holding each other up. Yeah, like I said earlier, I get a yes, I get a no, I get a maybe. I mean, he already has it in his mind. He's watching it. But if it is, like I said earlier, this may be one of those things that breaks the camel's back. Hi, Daniel. When will Trump be finished? Hopefully when he flushes the toilet. I don't know. I keep on saying September. Something's going down. Will he be finished? All I say is something about September is what I keep on getting. And then when September comes around and I'm wrong, don't hit me. It's fluid, but that's what I'm getting now. And I'm not making this stuff that make people happy. I'm just saying what I get. Hi, Stephanie. President Mexico is suing both Trump and Google for changing the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. What court will she be suing them in? Well, first of all, the Court of Opinion. I am not sure. I know she's suing. I feel it's going to be both in Mexico and in the States. Maybe we could ask the Librarian of Congress. Oh, she's not there anymore. I guess wherever the habeas corpus in jeopardy for all. That's what they want you to believe. This is, again, scare tactics. It's against the Constitution. And this, I do not see the Supreme Court letting this one go so that he can take American citizens and throw them into concentration camps in El Salvador. And he probably gets a kickback for everybody he brings there too. So no, I don't see it happening. They're going to keep it up because, again, it's those things they do all the time. Look what we're doing. Look what he's saying. Oh my God, But don't look what we're doing here. Oh my God, don't look what we're doing here. They found me. Okay. Just, play it safe. Desiree. I'm worried about the direction of Texas. Do you see them following Project 2025 handbook even after Trump is gone? No. Reason being is because some of the people will be gone. I do not see Abbott around much longer, as well as the others, his little minions. I'm going to tell you right now, what I do feel in Texas, this is going to be a power grid surge issue this summer. People will be without power because they never fixed the grid again after the winter storms. And I guess they'll find Ted Cruz going back to Cancun. But that's not going to sit well with people in Texas. Because they can't blame Biden. They can't blame Obama. They can't blame the Democrats. Okay? Cynthia, thank you so much. It really helps the channel. It really does. Oh, and by the way, I'll do this question first. Full moon in Scorpio tomorrow. Mercury moved into Taurus. Be mindful of what you say. It will stick. Okay, that's the end of the show. Bye. What I was going to say is, I dropped a new video on my new playlist, Timeless Tools for Fast Results. And it's called Healing the Inner Child. The parts of you, that one are waiting to be healed. And it's a really good little exercise that for when it's about basically how do you love yourself? It's by healing your inner child. And so everybody watch that. It's only 7 minutes long. And there's a little exercise that you can do for 21 days. And I don't put up anything that I don't do myself or have not done myself. And I know this works. So if you're feeling like blasé or in a little stuck in a funk or whatever, try it. It may seem a little awkward because you're basically telling your inner child that I'm loving you. And sometimes we're not ready to hear somebody's loving us. But I've had people writing me saying they've worked on it, they started crying, and they had some breakthroughs. So that's what it's there for. So I just want to remind people that that is up there. Okay? The second set of eclipses happened in September. Does not bode well for tea. No. I mean, we've all had feelings of assassinations or something's going wrong, but he always seems to skirt it. Well, the first one is because manufactured may be the word of the day. Because nobody ears grows back unless he really is reptilian. So that's the tail and the salamander. Never mind. So I'm just going to say we'll just keep on moving forward. Hold each other's hands. That's all we can do. Hi, Arthur. What comes after Trumpism? Do the MAGAs wake up? We'll go into a prosperity and we'll call it Arthurism. How's that? Actually, somebody sent me a mock-up mug that I should have. It said, I don't need therapy. I need Arthur. The MAGAs they're gonna disband. Gee, where's the Tea Party? They're gonna disband. In 30 years from now, it's like, what's this red hat in Grandpa's trunk? That kind of thing. But democracy. That's what comes into play. Democracy. Brought to us by the capital D. Hi, Sage. While the new Pope may be great, was he also put in to bring Americans and their money back into the fold? So many left after the sex scandals. No, I don't feel it was political. I don't feel there's an undercurrent. Bring the Americans, so bring people back to the church. There has to be a lot of doctrines to be changed for me to go back to Catholic Church. Yeah, I'll say Ave Maria, so glad to see you. But at the same time, it felt he was supposed to be there. And it's not because of... And what I'm hearing right now is because it was supposed to be, not for any other reason. But what he'll do is he's going to unite a lot of things. But that was not the primary reason why he was elected. Okay? At least that's what I get. Says the former altar boy who was kicked out. Hi, Artemis. I love the inner child video. I practice daily. Fake it till you make it, and you'll make it. This one, sweetheart, you don't have to fake. You just do it. But thank you. And if anybody also, there's one about sage up there too. Why I sage. The Pope is definitely a player in this worldwide rise. I wouldn't say he's a player. He just knows how to navigate. And, you know, this might sound horrible, but dossiers on everybody too. So we'll see. And we have 1758 in the room right now. Thank you so much for being here on Mother's Day of all days. Donna, dear Arthur, the destruction of USA and arrests seem to have accelerated. Are the crazies feeling the legal squeeze hitting them from all sides? They're speeding things up. Yeah. So let them. The more they speed up, the more mistakes they're going to make. And the faster we get rid of them. Okay. And I do feel with this, with the shift that we've been going through, I don't know about you, but I don't remember the month of April. And we're already in May. So time is speeding up all around. That's how I see it. Will DHS really be broke by July? No. Again, fear mongering. It depends who's reading the books and who's saying what, but I don't see they're going to be broke. No. Now, Nebraska, that's a state that might have to think about doing things a little bit differently. How will Janine Piro do as interim attorney general? Probably about as good as the sequel to Valley of the Dolls. Really bad. No, she's just, and the fact that her husband was given a pardon when Trump was on his way out for tax evasion. Please. The box wine judge. Thank you. Yes, the box wine judge. Well, it's easier to pack in the cabinet. It's like in Japan when they made watermelon square. It's kind of freaky, but it's kind of genius in a way too. Daniel Martin, thank you. Thank you. Diane, do you think Canada will get a trade deal from this unreliable president? He ignored the last one. Thanks. Well, they're working on it. They said 10%, so we'll see. Eventually, just remember, Trump may think he has the Midas touch. He does, in reverse. Anything he touches may look golden and then turns to crap. So. Hi, Heidi. Will Felon 45 actually acquire the Palace Parade from Qatar? I'm not sure. I mean, this is new to me. I didn't hear about this until now. I'm not in tune to everything, but the guides, they are. And they're just saying, actually, they're kind of laughing because it's probably gaudy as hell. I wonder if it has a golden toilet. Do you see China bending to Trump regarding the tariffs deal? No. Trump is going to kowtow to them, but it will look the other way around. That's the optics he will create. I'm telling you right now. And China's looking at Taiwan right now, so they're everyone's playing games. I do not see China invading Taiwan right now. I'll tell you that. I had a friend of mine from Taiwan, and I asked him what he thought about, China taking over Taiwan. He says it's not going to happen. Chinese government hates gay people. We're allowed to get married here. We did that on purpose. So I thought it was kind of cute. But the thing is this is all theatrics. Whatever Trump says, he backs down eventually. He gets his little minions to do his work. But when the bully himself is faced with stuff, he backs down. Okay? Question, will John Fetterman be reelected? There's a lot of media reports about his erratic behavior. Tell me the truth. I get reelected. I feel there's going to be some issues coming out before the election. And stuff will come out and there'll be explanations. Okay? The HMS Truman ship has lost 4 planes. Now, what is up with that? Within Bermuda? Just kidding. I don't know. I feel those planes will be found. I don't know if it's a secret mission or something. Really, I don't know. My guides are not telling me anything on this one. So, let's hope the buck stops there. Many of my friends and family do not believe we may have food shortages because of the tariffs. When will they become believers? When they're hungry. And they can't get their Cocoa Puffs. And all it's on the shelf is like, some second grade Wheaties or something that they don't like. It'll be a rude awakening for some people. Will America be 45's next bankruptcy? Seriously hope our taxation system is overhauled after this very public abuse of government. We're not going to go bankrupt. And systems will be overhauled, systems will be changed, systems will be fixed. And as I always say, and they're going to be built back better. Okay. Daniel, what about the impeachment attempts? What will happen? They continue. And it goes to deaf ears to Mike Johnson. And then one day, Kel Surprise, Mike Johnson's not there. And then they go through. And then the Senate. The man will eventually be impeached. Then again, one time I did say, can you impeach somebody after they die? So I'm just going to throw that out there. We'll see. Okay, I'm not sure about the plane. What's going to happen now that the orange buffoon accepted a plane from the Saudis? Will America allow this? What pact did he make with them? I don't know. I don't think it's a pact with the devil. So, speaking of which, I saw the funniest meme the other day. A woman was saying she took out all her medications and started reading all the names. She said them wrong, and she summoned a demon. You know what? I'm going to tell you this. I feel within a week and a half, a lot of the stuff about this plane is going to come out. We're going to know more details, and it's going to get ugly. Again, this is that whole stuff where he keeps on doing more and more and more. Like I said, every day in April was a WTF day. Every day in May, it's just amps up. And then we get to June and July. That's when it all starts hitting the fan. The receipts start coming out. People start coming out with facts. And he's going to fight. He's going to do what he has to do, like a petulant little child. And in September, I feel there's military people, individuals, not just but from all branches that go in there and say, sir. And he faints, whatever, plays possum, and they put him on a gurney. That's what I see. That doesn't mean it's actually that's the way it's going to happen, but there's metaphors to all of it. But that's what I see. Okay. Is Zelensky privy to intel of the removal of 45? I'm not sure. He's got enough to worry about. But then again, he knows about Putin's leaving, so we'll see. Can you tell when we will be free of Dumpty, please? It feels like in eternity already. First of all, easier said than done. You got to tune some of this stuff out. He's a barker like Atlantic City, the barkers, come on, see the three-headed lady. Come on. It's just one thing after the other. All these insane things to drive all of us crazy. So don't fall into the traps. Don't fall into traps like, all of his golf balls do. We're going to get through this. I think we have time for one or two more. Now that Kristi Noem is being slammed by Congress, do you think her career is over now? I have to say, it was fun watching them yell at her. I've always said anybody there is, they're short-lived. They're short-lived. I don't see her being around in 4 months in this position. I mean, her hair extension may still be there, but she won't. And I still like the joke where the guy went and bought a garden gnome. And his wife bought a garden gnome. And he said, I'm calling this Kristi Noem. It's porcelain, it's hollow, and the dog's afraid of it. Will Lisa Murkowski leave the party, and is her seat safe? Sorry, I'm dyslexic. I want to say, I feel she may become independent. But I do know that a lot, Alaska used to be blue, and then it went red. I'm just hearing that I don't see her leaving or being ousted. That's what I'm getting right now at this moment. Okay. Hello, Arthur and Swamp. Her name is Sherry. What happens to Chief Justice Thomas? He'll get a high school named after him. I feel he's about to draw a line and stand up. A while ago, I felt that he was like, remember when Bonner was saying, I can't do this anymore as Speaker of the House, and just walked away? I feel he's a little bit like that. He had pride in the court. He had pride, but now he knows they're kind of like a laughingstock. And this is not what he intended. This is not what he signed up for. Like I said, I feel there's going to be some changes over the next 3 months, 2 months regarding all the stuff with Trump, the immigration stuff, everything else he's trying to do. Everything he's been trying to do is just, there's a lawsuit. And he just keeps on going one after the other after the other. But I feel a lot of this is also Steve Miller whispering in his ear. But I feel Justice Thomas I don't see him walking away. I don't see him retiring right now. I see that he knows he's made a mistake, and I feel he's going to correct it. Or we watched too many movies with happy endings. Spiritual Garden. Will the Heritage Foundation come up on charges for this? I call them the Heretic Foundation. Yeah. Because everything they're doing is basically, if you really boil it down, and I don't know the law, I don't know things, I'm just me. But what I keep on hearing is from the guides that they interfered with elections, interfered with a lot of things. And so that catches up to them. What I get is a very wise legal team using the right words to go after them. And it'll be airtight. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay. And one more. Hi, Julia. Good evening, Arthur. Do you see Pope Francis already beginning to work the miracles that will make him a saint? Yes. I do see him being canonized. I think in my lifetime, the fastest one to turn around was Mother Teresa. Yeah, the miracles will happen. And they may be in small towns. I just used the word conclave, but that's not the right word. Small little places where they can't say it was technology or anything like that. It'll be proved to be miracles. So, yay. Hi, Iron Swan. I'm still waiting for the proposal from my guy. Are you sure it will happen? Love you and thank you. I'm not doing personal stuff, but it's still going to happen. Don't give up. Let him come to you. Okay? Focus on you right now. Go listen to the Heal the Inner Child. Go listen to my guided meditation about attract love. But most of all, fresh start and about loving yourself. Okay? White gardenias. Will Trump and crew be the direct cause of manipulation of the stock crypto crash, or is there another capitalist? There's a group. I mean, Trump's not doing this solo. You know, he's the figurehead, but he has everybody do his dirty work. But it's all going to be found out. It's all going to be found out. And on that day will be a good day. And then we can say we'll have a V8. Well, they all had the Kool-Aid. All right. So happy Mother's Day to everyone. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope it wasn't too dingy. But if anyone is looking for a reading or anything like that, you can reach me at arthureaseyourmind.com. I'll be on tomorrow night with Sherry from Voices from the Swamp, and hopefully Mel. And then hopefully Tuesday we'll be doing Aloha Tuesday. And then Friday I'll be on with Valerie from Dragonfly Crystals. In the meantime, I'm trying to write new material and other things. So if there's something that you would like me to look into for you, send me an email. Okay? Go to my webpage and you can. It takes a couple of days though to get back to people. So if you're looking for a turnaround real fast, most people have a team of 10. I've got a team of 10 fingers. So, but we're getting through it. And I really appreciate you all being here. I really love you all. from the bottom of my heart. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Actually, because of you, I hit 21.8 thousand. So let's go for that 35. All right. All right, guys. Take care. God love you. I love you. And above all, stay safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. And have fun. All right. Bye-bye.